All right. So just making sure my mic is good. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the JRL on Twitch. Tonight is Tier 1 or round number 6 here at Great Britain, aka Silverstone. 26 laps, 18 minutes of qualifying as per usual. And once again, I'm joined tonight with RZX Sparks here in the broadcast booth. Still waiting on a few drivers to join up at this time. And Sparks, I think we're in a special treat tonight. If you can hear me, make sure you have your audio included at the same time. Um, but no, we have two drivers with two wins on the season, that being Elite and Dreams. They're 26 apart in the standings. I mean, Elite said himself this is one of his favorite tracks in the game, and we know Dreams has had poor results here in the past. I mean, what are you expecting out of these two drivers tonight?
I think Elite has a very good chance against Dreams tonight. I raced with Dreams a little bit earlier today because we were both bored and looking for something to do, and I think Elite has a good chance because this is one of those tracks that's a little bit harder for Dreams. So I think this is where some comebacks can happen today.
All right, so you heard it from himself. So we'll do a little quick race recap last week at Montreal, which it was an entire wet weather race, and it was chaotic per usual, as it always is at Canada. But it was Elite, who is 26 points behind Dreams going into tonight's race. Sparks, if you could invite some of the drivers while I go over this. So it was Elite that took the win over Pee Wee, who finished second, and Dreams was able to salvage a podium after his early race spin, and then eventually made his way towards the front. Sniper fourth, and Mikey 14-14 will round out the top five. So tonight, going into Silverstone, it's our first powerhouse on the schedule. And really looking forward to seeing how tonight's race plays out, especially in the standings as well. We'll go to the standings once we enter the qualifying. All right, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Do we have majority of everyone?
Boss Racing is joining later. Odin says Nix needs an invite.
Okay. Alright, Haas Racing is already in here.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Let's see about Nyx. Okay, Nyx is on the way, and then once he joins, I think we'll be good. So while we're waiting and loading into the actual track, I think, if I'm correct, I think usually it's a 40% chance that it will rain. It's not a track that necessarily you will possibly expect rain, but we could be wrong, at least from my experience. And also, we also have new stories unfolding. Well, maybe just one, but CSR Delta, former Ferrari reserve, has joined the ranks into the Red Bull team. Will be assisting Elite and the constructors. We know Delta has been very quick in recent weeks, so we will see how that's going to play out later on. Alright, so we have 18 minutes now. And while we wait for the opening warm-up laps, we'll go ahead and pull up the current driver standings. So it is a 26-point difference between 1 and 2, Dreams and Elite. Both sit 1 and 2 for the past few weeks. Dr. Eber Jr. struggling here in the past few weeks, kind of after his podium at Azerbaijan. But he's hanging strong in third. He's nearly about to be passed by Pee Wee, who is in fourth, 1 point behind him. Fifth is Zachman 2211, who will not be attending tonight due to health reasons. RGX Games, who is attending tonight. Great opportunity to pass Zachman unless he doesn't score multi points. And Sniper P7, UPro P8, Firefighter is P9, and CSR Delta is P10. And constructor standings, it is Mercedes continually dominating as Red Bull passing has for P2, Ferrari 4th, and Williams 5th. So we'll go ahead and pull up our little thing here. So, Spark, since we're sitting on Elite right now, I mean, you heard it last week in his post-race interview after he won. He said Silverstone is probably one of my best tracks in this game. I'm having a lot of pace here, and he's got a lot of momentum after Azerbaijan and Canada. He's got to feel pretty good about this. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think he's been starting to show some real signs of pace in this next part of the season. He struggled a little. He wasn't doing too terrible in the first part of the season, but he's definitely improved from the first part, and he's now I think it's on a 2-win streak, and he did say he felt good about this track. So I'd be curious to see how he does up against some of the front runners today.
And also, we'll go back down to OTC Dreams. Currently getting ready for his flying lap here of the session. I mean, Dreams has been our back-to-back series champion, but now he's got a little bit of a challenge on his hands. He struggled a little bit. First round obviously wasn't his best result that we normally see out of him. And going into tonight, I don't think he feels very confident that he'll probably get a win or podium, but who knows? Anything could happen here at this track. It is very fast, so think about maybe some straight line speed out of Dreams. Maybe that will help him a little bit over Elite, who might go for a little bit of a safer strategy. But we'll just find out. So Dreams going out on the mediums here, who's already invalidated his lap. He's going to save that one set of softs for the race, I would imagine.
Us racing goes fast as 128.5. He's also on the mediums though. His EX Nix is invalidated.
CP up to second now as we see Games and Dreams both enter the pit lane now. Firefighter and Odin next two to cross the line here. Odin not too far off, 4/10 behind. Goober goes quickest with a 28.4 flat. And Goober has been one of the ones to watch out for qualifying, but all of a sudden this season, he's not. It's mainly been Dreams and Odin who's been dominating throughout qualifying, but obviously qualifying doesn't matter until it comes down to race. And we saw Odin, who would have been on pole, but Dreams ran that one last lap after having connection issues to eventually take the pole away from him. Odin would have had a chance for a podium or even the race win, but he got slammed hard into the pit lane, causing him to receive a drive-through penalty. So that was really unfortunate for Odin. So I would imagine Odin comes back into the pit lane here. He's invalidated it. CP entering the pit lane. We got one stopped toward the fighter sector. That's Nyx. So Elite will take provisional pole away from Goober. About 2.5 tenths behind. So Games and Dreams will go back out onto the track. I think it's safe to say that first round, or first part of qualifying is over with. We've already have 6 drivers who have locked in the time. Alright, so 6 drivers have put in a time here on the board. We'll watch 2 Mercedes now as they go through the middle sector now. Unlike last week at Canada, we had 18. Tonight, very good chance we're having 14. So Games will cross the line. He moves up to P4, almost 6 tenths off of RZX Elite. Now we'll see about Dreams rounds the final 2 corners here. And he comes across the line. He will take second. Wow, awfully close to taking pole there. 8/1000ths off of Elite's time, but still a lot of time to improve. I mean, these have been the 2 quickest all season long. So definitely room for improvement here at this track. So it is Elite from Dreams, Pee-wee, Goober, Haas Racing, Games, Odin, That Guy ZP, Mikey, and Firefighter are 10 that have put in a lap. Everyone else has pretty much invalidated theirs. So U-Pro is on a pretty solid lap here as of now. And I think we lost Sparks. Okay, so Sparks will be restarting his Xbox. So they go through Maggots and Beckett's here. That was a cool little camera shot. Buddy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the Twitch chat now. Alright, Twitch chat is now pulled up. So we're watching U-Pro here. 1 podium on the season. That was back in Austria. He rounds the final corner. It is P6, 3/10 off. Not bad. So middle part of quali here now is 2 Red Bulls now going on to the racetrack. CSR Delta has put in a lap, but haven't seen much out of Delta in qualifying as we see Delta go around onto the straight. I think possibly Red Bulls might be trying to slipstream here. So we'll watch and see how this goes. Oh my god, they almost had it coming together, coming out of Cop's corner. And we have both Red Bulls just constantly going off the racetrack. So this might interfere with other drivers. And Delta's just going to let everyone go through here now. So Elite will be the next across the line to take his flying lap. Delta now pits, so not too sure what that was about. Going out for out lap and then just going back in. So I'm pretty sure Delta will have probably 2 more laps here for quali. But we'll watch Elite now. We're actually right on board with our current pole sitter. So he improves in the first sector, quickest out of everyone. Now goes through on the old pit straight here, and we approach Cop's corner now. Late apex. Very nice. Clean exit. Now we go through Maggots and Beckett's, the S section here. Almost invalidates it there. That was awfully close. You almost cut that corner, but still good. Normally when you run wide in F1, it doesn't necessarily give you a penalty for it, but if you do cut a corner, it will automatically give you a penalty, no matter how slow or fast you go. But Elite will cross the final sector now. I don't think he went quickest in that second part, but he will cross the line, and he improves by a tenth and a half, almost cracking the 127, so still a lot of time to improve here. Not sure where he possibly might have made a mistake there. So Elite will probably rush back into the pits here and then throw on a new set of softs, try to take pole, unless he might be saving a pair, unless he's confident with that time, but we'll try to get Sparks back in here now. So Pee-wee's an entire tenth off, so he doesn't improve, stays where he is. Dreams heads back into the pit lane now. Might be done for qualifying here. I don't know if he's going to get back to the track and he'll have another shot. Sparks, you can just probably join off on me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it says I'm connecting, but as long as you can hear me, we're probably good then.
Yeah, I'll turn you up a little bit. So I think Dreams might possibly be done here. So Elite 128.0 and Dreams being an entire tenth off. We're watching Haas Racing absolutely flying in that middle sector, pushing the car to the limits. He might barely run a ERS when he crosses the line. This will definitely be an improvement for him. Let's see if he can keep it clean here.
Ooh.
And Haas Racing. Wow, that perfect time to watch that, as he's almost 2/10 in front of Elite. And here comes Elite. Back out onto the racetrack. He wants pole here bad. He's probably going to have one shot for it.
He's barely gonna make it if he does.
So Haas Racing could go another lap here. We'll see. Actually, no, I think he's pretty much done qualifying. Plus, he has traffic ahead of him, so I think he might be done. So we'll see if Elite makes it. He's got a minute to go.
I'm not sure it's possible. Elite might have, yeah, he might have to cut some corners in order to make this. That's what he's doing. It's gonna be very, very close.
And Elite knows it, as we all do. He's going to be very close, but I think that little move there would probably...
Yeah, he's just gonna go straight through Maggots and
He's just
Beckett's.
going to...
Look
Gotta
at
be
that car
careful.
fly.
So, him cutting Maggots and Beckett's. Actually, I don't know if he's going to make it. He's absolutely cutting the track. Yeah, no, he's not going to make it.
Man.
Elite
He wanted
not
it
making
bad.
it. He wanted it bad. He was cutting the entire track. And his AI goes right back out on the racetrack and
wow.
sits there.
Wow.
And he
That's
just took
interesting.
someone out. he took a Haas.
AI's at their best. I think that was the Haas of Goober, too.
Right now, we got Dreams quickest in the first sector now. This isn't his best racetrack, but he does have a little bit of traffic ahead of him. That dirty air might come to bite him. Right on board with Dreams. He goes through Cops Corner. And Dreams cuts Maggots and Beckett's. He's done for qualifying.
That is a place where Dreams seems to be struggling.
Yeah, so much time can be gained or lost at that part of the racetrack, and there's so many parts where you can screw up your race at here at this track. So Dreams done. Mikey has lost his front wing. I think he is done as well. And I think that does it. Nix has manually retired. Garrison with the rear of the grid penalty. He stays down in 14th. So yeah, we're done in qualifying here. Haas Racing out of nowhere snags the pole from Elite. Elite will join him on the front row with Dreams and Delta lining up in the second row. So looks like we might have a race on our hands.
I do think Dreams will be happy with that, considering that he was not very excited for this track, so I think he will be perfectly fine with a P3 to start this race.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the season 2 opener, pretty sure he lined up 4th or 5th on the grid and just could not find any pace. Made so many mistakes, but with this, it should help. So Dreams over in Twitch chat is telling us he would have had pole. It would have been a 27-7 if he had not invalidated it.
That sounds
That
like
would have
a
been.
Dreams quote to me, though. I hear that a lot from him.
That might just be a bluff, or that might actually be true. But we will see if he has anything up against Elite and Haas Racing here at the start of this race. Alright, so the initial formation lap underway at Silverstone. I think we're going to have another delay start because we've been having it the past 2 weeks,
Yeah.
so I won't call the race right off, so I think we might just have a delay on spectators' point of view because every time I've been watching Dreams on the start of the race, he seems pretty fine. It looks like we might have Haas Racing lag to deal with once again as he was ghosted just then. There's a look at your pit stop strategies. And we'll pull up the tire situation. So majority, in fact 80% of everyone here is running the mediums.
Like
Elite's
chooses
gonna
the hards.
Yeah, Elite might be trying to save his stuff towards the end of this race. He's going to go on the hards, then on the mediums later.
Dr. Goober Jr. also following that strategy, but they appear to be the only two on the crate starting on hards.
And I think it's safe to say our top 7, maybe top 8 with Odin there, but we know how Odin makes his continuous amount of mistakes. But we'll see, considering that I think Goober and Elite might have some battling to do here in the first few opening laps as we approach the final corners to line up on the grid.
I think track limits could play another factor today as it did at Canada. A lot of people invalidating laps during qualifying, and track limits are also very picky around here in certain corners, so we'll have to see how that plays out for other people.
And we saw Dreams with that. He invalidated it through Maggots and Beckett's. That can play a huge part. But here we go. So we have 14 drivers lining up in the grid in V2 Garrison. Penalty for qualifying here, but here we go. 5 lights on. Round 6 of the Tier 1 F122 series is now underway. And Elite got a bad start on the inside. Dreams has a pretty good start right behind Haas Racing as they go through 1 and 2 now.
Oh,
and we have one around.
Dr. Goober Jr.
That's Goober. He was on the hards as we go through Village now.
Mikey also went around. Both of the Haas's have gone around. Haas Racing stays in the lead. RGX Elite drops down to 4th on those hard tires, but they're not going
He's
to
under pressure from Dreams from the race lead.
Oh,
Odin spins in the back as we exit the Wellington Straight now. Now Dreams will have to go the long way around. Dreams is absolutely flying here on the first lap. Delta and Elite struggling back there in 3rd and 4th. Elite starting on the hards now. Haas Racing going to take the defensive line going through Cops Corner. But Dreams does not have a good enough run there as we go through Maggots and Beckett's now.
This is the spot where Dreams can struggle in those times. See how Haas Racing does the control.
And this was the place that Haas Racing was flying through. He almost invalidated it going through here while you were away. So now we will into Chapel Curve now onto the Hangar Straight. Excuse me, not. We passed that already. I'm just confused. It looks like Delta's also catching up to Dreams. Back there in 3rd. And Elite got passed by, or no, Pee-wee passed Elite. So Elite's down in 5th. Remember, he's on the hard tires, so he will be struggling here at the start. We'll watch and see what Games can do on Elite as Games will go to the inside. This shouldn't be a problem as he goes through Brooklands now. And now we have U-Pro.
Looking at a movie doesn't make it stick though.
Sounded like there was some contact between the two there. I think Elite almost went around there.
The Ferrari is right behind U-Pro. Could make a move soon. Might think about it through Maggots and Beckett's, but decides not to. Dreams 2/10 behind Haas Racing.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Doesn't look like he's carrying enough straight line speed though.
Yeah, exiting Maggots through Beckett's, like you said, it's been his difficult part of the racetrack. So you always want a clean run coming out of there if you want to pass him. But now it looks like Pee-wee might be pressuring Delta for that 3rd place spot now.
Pee-wee with the fastest lap of the race, he might be showing some pace. He's all over Delta. Looks like Delta gets a better exit though. Delta will not have the DRS though. That will be Pee-wee's advantage going down the hanging straight out of Maggots and Beckett's. unless Delta can catch up to Dreams.
Elite's around. He made contact with U-Pro as he went through Brooklyn's. An absolute nightmarish start for the driver who said he could have had a shot to win this race, but now he's back in P12. And our points leader still fighting it out for first.
I think Dreams is going to get around Haas Racing. He's going to have the DRS.
He will have
Haas
the
Racing gets
DRS
a
going
very good
on
exit. He might not.
onto the hanger straight. DRS really doesn't do you that much, considering that custom setups are on. It only pulls you about maybe 2-3 tenths. It's all in the setup, really. So Garrison's made up ground at the start. He started back in 14th. He's up to 10th.
Haas Racing doing a very good job holding Dreams up so far. I am very impressed with his efforts.
This is allowing Games, Pee-wee, and Delta to catch up. Games is flying as well. He's already behind the two here, Red Bull and the Williams driver.
Dreams getting closer and closer through the corners, but it's Maggots and Beckett's. It's really slowing him down compared to Haas Racing. Getting so close through cops. 3 tenths, almost 2 tenths now.
So we're right on board with Dreams once again. See if he can get the job done. See, look how he's struggling. He's having to back out a lot of the corners. This is allowing Haas Racing to pull away. Dreams does have the DRS to able to stick with him.
Much closer this time. They still can't make the move stick. 2 tenths.
I think Haas Racing might have made a mistake. He went a little wide there. Can Dreams?
about a
Nope,
move.
can't get it done.
Oh, Pee-wee's still behind Delta, but he's picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits, so that will affect him later on. Dreams with the fastest lap of the race.
Dreams is just so good when it comes to these technical parts of the racetrack, but also a highly technical part
Here
is the
comes
one that we
Dreams. He
keep
gets a
talking
much
about.
better exit. 1/10 away, he's gonna make the move here.
Haas Racing is going to block the apex going into the corner. He will have a tighter exit.
Very good defending from Haas Racing. Dreams thinks about the outside, but decides not to. Very good racing between these two drivers.
Now we approach the old pit straight into Cops Corner.
Oh, here it
Dreams to the
comes.
outside now. Haas Racing once again blocks the apex.
Dream gets a much better exit though. He might attack the Maggots and Beckett's, but he decides not to.
See, he just keeps
Dreams.
on losing time.
Yeah.
But I think he will have a good opportunity to make a move. He has a DRS. He'll have to go to the outside now.
Dreams is pushing so hard to get in front of Haas Racing. He has almost no ERS. He's already flashing. Dreams is under 10%. He's been pushing very hard in these first few laps to try and get past him.
Meanwhile, Pee-wee is all over the rear wing of Delta, thinking about a move going into turn 1, and he'll think twice about it. We have Goober around in the final sector. So Elite really not gaining much ground here with the hard tires. Yeah, I think Dreams, he pretty much used his stuff here on the few opening laps. He'll have to charge that ERS back up if he is able to try to get around him. But it is Haas Racing that leads from Dreams, from CSR Delta, from Pee-wee, and from Games, our top 5. Alright, so it looks like we still have Pee Wee sticking with Delta for that third place spot. Game's falling back just a little bit now. He's back in fifth.
Games has also used a lot of his ERS. He's also almost out. Haas Racing has pulled a 1 second gap to Dreams. Dreams using all of that ERS is really starting to affect him now.
They might be going for it here on the pit straight because Delta really under pressure from Pee Wee. Pee Wee almost had a pass attempt there going through Brooklands. I think it's safe to say Dream just used up all of his stuff.
Right in the back. Get alongside, but Odin gets the better exit. Yui inching closer and closer to Delta. He's gonna go. Oh, he almost makes a move. Delta defends him very well, though.
They almost made contact with Delta there as Delta left a gap there, but Pee Wee thought twice about it. And we think about the last time we saw Haas racing up into the front, he has a 1.5 second advantage on Dreams now. You think back in Austria where, you know, we saw a constant lagging. Dreams could not get around him. He dominated the first opening laps of the race, and they're...
Looks like he might make the pass stick. Yes, he does. Delta's gotten
and now I think
gear recently as well. He bought himself a new wheel and pedals. To see how this works for him.
He's going through it in Cobbs. He thought about it. He thought about it. You know, he's going to force out. He's going to go out wide. Game should have a good run if he has a clean Maggots and Beckett's here now.
Delta goes wide.
I think Delta's tires might be heating up here.
Haas Racing has now pulled another second to Dreams. Dreams is losing a lot of pace. Delta might have made a mistake as well. Games is now all over the back of him. Delta's not going to get DRS. This could be a pass attempt for Games. Oh, and
Delta goes around. Tires spin. And he's going to spin again. Those tires are pretty hot. That's why I think he was losing ground through the corners. We'll look further back with the battle for 8th now as Odin challenging Mikey for the 8th place spot. And looking further down the leaderboard, Elite, he's right behind these group cars. He's just continuously losing time because he can't get around everyone. That's why he hasn't gained any spots.
ERS. Looks like a lot of people are using ERS. Mikey almost out. Garrett, almost everyone is under 20% of ERS.
And just looking at the little mini map here as we're watching Mikey and Odin go through the hangar straight now. Dreams around the outside. Can he get it to work? Yes, he can. He clears them. Nicely done. And Mikey aggressively to the inside. And this is going to cost him. Don't think that was the smartest decision by Mikey. And he's already going to get passed by Elite now. But yeah, sorry, got you off. Dreams now under pressure from Pee Wee now for the second place spot. Just constantly watching him on the little map there. Curious to see what's going to happen through these corners now.
You're just right on board with Dreams. He just hits the brakes so hard through Maggots and Beckett's just to be able to get his car through there without going wide. He really struggles through sector 2 of the track. Dreams pits.
Yeah, Dreams has had enough of that. He doesn't want to constantly lose time to our race leaders.
It's like Haas Racing will pit with him. El Pee Wee now leads the race. RZX Games stays out. UPro stays out. Dreams pit. Firefighter has pit. A lot of people coming into the pits now.
So the drivers who started on hards would, without a shadow of a doubt, will be staying out here even further.
This is where Elite has got to do some push laps if he wants to think about gaining time to the front runners. So the top two carrying, I believe it is 3-second penalties. Yes, both top two have 3-second penalties. So UPro is in a provisional first right now. Right behind Arts. Oh, he picks up a penalty as well, right as I say that. So the top three stands as it is. UPro almost out of ERS, pushing very hard to try and catch up to RZX Games. Both of them decide to pit. The top three all pit.
So now with the drivers who pit a lap ago having to suffer through the cold tires, did our top three as of now push enough? Because we know Silverstone has a very long pit road. So Elite will be taking the race lead on the hard compound tires. He's going to save his stuff to the end of this race. And Haas Racing and Dreams are going to pass them all coming out.
This is where Elite has to go, because he's going to have the advantage over the people with cold tires. And those hards will go for a couple laps longer, so this is where he has to do those push laps before he pits. He has the ARS, unlike some of the other drivers.
Quickly look at the leader interval. And Dreams picks up a time penalty as he exits Cops. That's really unfortunate for him early on, but still a lot of time left. So we'll pull up the leader interval for now and see if Elite and Goober are gaining, or at least trying to.
Like UPro's gonna get a run on Games. Might get all the way past him. Yes, he does. Games is running a much lower downforce setup clearly because UPro just flew past him from about 5/10 back. So yeah, if Games can respond, coming into turn 1 and then Village. Odin all over the back of CSR Delta. Goes really wide though. He's gonna lose a lot of time because of that. Although Delta's slowing down a lot. There's contact. Delta goes around. I'm not sure if Delta missed his, or maybe I'm lagging. Looked like Delta went around though. Maybe he saved it. Odin has gotten
Delta
past
did,
him.
yeah, Delta did save it, but it cost him a lot of time, obviously, because Odin's right past him now.
Not sure if I
And the
was
driver
lagging,
runs
but
wide, and there's some bodywork coming off. A Ferrari has wrecked out at ZP, and the safety car is out. Full
first safety
safety
car of
car.
the race.
And
This
I
is
think this
very
has
good for
helped.
Elite and Goober.
Yeah, because I was going to say they're going to get a cheap pit stop here and possibly go on the mediums here. I don't know. If they're going to go on the mediums, it's going to be really close the entire way through. But we'll see what they
Yeah, they're
do. They
gonna
do
do it.
go into the pits now. They're going for it. Everyone else would probably stay out here. Unless everyone does decide to come on the mediums. Nope, they're all pretty much going to stay out here. And just to look at the leaderboard, the time on how it was, Haas Racing really wasn't gaining that much on the top two during that whole sequence of events, but doesn't matter now.
Looks like quite a few people on the bottom of the grid are also pitting. So Haas Racing back in the lead. Elite only lost about 6 or 7 positions. That puts him up 3 positions from what he would have been in, so this is very good for him, and he is on the better tires. This will be very beneficial as long as he can tire save to the end, which I think he will be able to do these safety car laps that we're going to have.
I think ZP might have been just too trigger happy with the throttle, went around in Brooklands, and I think Firefighter just tagged him and it caused ZP to wreck out. Didn't quite catch all of it through my point of view, but we'll look back on stream and see what happened there.
So Elite has some work to do, but I think the win is now possible for him. It was not looking good for him earlier in the race, but the safety car has completely changed things for him, and Goober as well. He sits right behind him. So Haas Racing back to leading this race, and he has not picked up a penalty yet, unlike almost every single driver on the grid besides RZX Elite.
I'll try to see if I can get Delta back in here. So Nix is pretty much the only one everyone's waiting on, but I would imagine the safety car comes in this time by. So Dreams, who sits in second place, and we have Elite down in 7th. Elite has traffic ahead of him. He will be the fastest driver on track coming into the restart. So I would think Dreams at this point, he's going to push everything he can until the end of this race. Because next 2 tracks for him, one being questionable. He hasn't run a league race at Shanghai next week. But he is very good at Miami, which we'll hit that in 2 weeks' time. And then after that, it will be our first break of the season. And then we'll begin the second half. So here we go. Haas Racing leads us after the safety car that brought out. The ZP is wrecking out, and there goes Haas Racing. We're back underway at Silverstone.
No, Pee-wee picks up another 3-second time penalty coming through the last corner. That is not going to help him at all. Oh, and Haas Racing picks up the penalty. The only person not to pick up a penalty on this grid right
It's
now
Elite.
is Elite.
So Elite, if he can keep it clean here, because as of now he's good, he would win the race, but it's still a lot of things could happen. So let's not get hopes up too big here early on, but hasn't passed anyone here on the restart. They're really tight, 1, 2, and 3 up in the front.
Looking through the race director right now, it looks like Elite only has 1 warning, so that means he does have a little bit of leadway, but looks like Firefighter and Goober getting very close to him. Elite is actually maybe losing time to RGX Games. Looks like they're too wide in the back. Firefighter goes
He
a
did
long
gain.
way around.
He did gain a spot. He's up to 6th.
Oh, no, the spin. Is that Goober? That's Goober. Goober goes around. I'm not sure if he has contact with Firefighter, but he goes around.
And Dreams cuts as he goes onto the Wellington Straight. I saw it coming. This is very disastrous for him.
Haas Racing taking a defensive line just in case Dreams decides to make any moves on him. Dreams goes wide, now he pops. I bet Haas Racing will gain some time on him through here. Elite getting all over the back of Games. He actually goes wide. He'll probably get a warning for that. He was very wide. He got very, very close to Games. Almost hit him. Gonna get close to a run, but decides not to. Elite's going to want to get around Games as soon as possible because there's a 1-second gap between Games and UPro as it stands. Games is barely keeping it within 1 second.
DRS activated, and we'll obviously keep an eye on Dreams and what he can do when they go through onto Wellington Straight. Because he's reeled in Haas Racing still. DRS is active. He has the DRS. He can block the apex. Around the outside, he's going to let him have it. I think they're both running very high speed setups because Dreams, he's gaining a little bit, even if he's not using any ERS on the straights.
Dreams has no ERS. He's flashing again. It was about 10%.
So yeah, he's lost Haas Racing now. We still have the DRS, but he's not gonna make a pass. Meanwhile, Elite
Upro's
back.
thinking
He's
about a
fighting with
pass. It's getting
games.
closer and closer and closer.
Elite up to 5th now. He's past games.
There's a good
That's
spot
another
from
spot
Elite.
for Elite.
Knows that game since losing time and had to get past him and make that work. I think it's great.
And Nix is disqualified from the race from receiving a lot of track limit penalties, so he's done for the race.
Elite fastest lap of the race with a 1:30.4. His mediums are really starting to help him now.
We have a yellow flag in the first sector. It doesn't look like anyone went around. It might just be a glitch. Yeah, no one went around. It's still yellow in the first sector. Meanwhile, Delta is getting up some ground after having a few spins here and there. He's passed 2 people, and now he's up to 7th.
Here comes Upro down the Hampton straight. He's probably going to make a move. Yes, he does. He goes down the inside of O'Keefe. Oh, and there's contact. Upro goes around.
Upra around, he's going to lose multiple spots. He's going to probably lose out his place to Goober here when he gets back up and going again, but it's tough luck for Upro. He was actually doing pretty decent here so far in this race.
O'Keefe
Elite.
didn't give him enough space.
So Elite now up to 4th after the spin, and he is in DRS range on Pee-wee. Elite did go wide in the final corner. Not sure if he got a warning for that. We'll watch and see if Elite can get something working here as they go through Borklands now.
Elite can get past Pee-wee and Dreams and Haas Racing start fighting closer to the end of this race. This is looking very good for Elite, not counting penalties. He's still the only one not to have a penalty.
Meanwhile, Dreams has caught back Haas Racing.
And he picks up another penalty.
He picks up another penalty. This is really bad for our championship leader.
Elite goes wide. He might have gotten a warning from that. I don't think he did because it would have been a penalty. He's going to make a move on LPU. He's going to go around the outside. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does.
Elite, only driver this race that hasn't picked up a penalty. He's in the podium places, and he is sitting just nicely.
First, I think.
Yeah, he's 2 seconds behind Dreams. So yeah, I think, yeah, he is in good shot to win this race. But I think Elite, he knows he's in the race lead, time penalty wise. I think he ought to just keep his cool. And Dreams right now is just constantly trying to get around Haas Racing here, and with that he's at the risk of getting penalties. And Elite picks up a time penalty, just barely went wide on my screen. So that's unfortunate for him.
Gives him some work he has to do. No, I think he's very much still in contention. He's gained about 4/10 the Dreams, but that will definitely not help him out.
And we just have a handful of laps to go here at Silverstone as he goes through Copse Corner now. He's equaled out with Haas Racing. It's all about position-wise between him and Haas Racing, but how's he going to get around Dreams? Dreams is going to lose some pace here very quickly until he gets around this Alfa Romero.
Very close, but can't make a move. He's just probably very frustrated, as I can imagine.
Dreams very late on the brakes there. He almost hit Haas Racing. I think
This is
very
where
shortly,
elites.
Elites. Pretty sure Elites mediums might be going off here very soon.
Precisely my thoughts. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. I think Dreams is just running in the clean air now. This dirty air that he's trying to stick behind Haas Racing hasn't been working, so he's trying something else. Elite's losing a little bit of time now.
Well, Pee-wee will probably get him on the hanger straight as long as he keeps this gap through Maggots and Beckett's. This RZX Elite is flashing, although El Pee-wee does not have very much ERS either. Although RZX Elite does get a good exit out of there. It brings it up to about 4.5 tenths, maybe 5. I don't think El Pee-wee will catch him. Yeah, no. Ooh, Dreams gets very loose, almost goes around and saves it. Cards are also going to start to wear down, although it's really just dependent on whose wears down quicker.
I think maybe in about 2 laps time, I think they're going to be equal with their tire wear.
So Elite is sitting provisionally second. He's comfortably in second, but he has quite the gap to make if he wants to catch up to Haas Racing and get first because he picked up that penalty. It's like almost everyone on the grid is just struggling for ERS.
I think Haas Racing's struggling with his tires now because Dreams has it under 2 tenths.
Dreams is going to get very close. He's going to tuck into the slipstream. He's going to go around the outside. Might go for the switchback here if he gets enough traction. But Haas Racing defends nicely. Might go down the inside towards Vale. Thinks about it. He gets very close to Haas Racing. Might try to switchback again, trying to get more traction. Although Haas Racing is doing some very good defending.
Elite has the gap down to Dreams 1.3. He is gaining, but will he have enough time? He actually is under pressure from Pee-wee as well.
Pee-wee is going to depend on Dreams and Haas Racing fighting. That is his only chance of catching back up.
So now Dreams will go in the dirty air. And now he goes to the inside. He's going to get very aggressive here. He's not having none of this. But Haas Racing will have the preferred line.
Have to go around it outside. He doesn't get the traction. He can't make the move straight. Haas Racing is just defending and defending and defending against Dreams.
He's not using any ERS here, just looking at his wheel on the onboard shot. I think he's nervous from behind because Elite almost has it within a second gap.
He gets it within a second, but it's past the detection zone, so he still will not get DRS. They'll start to pull away on the but if they keep fighting, they'll keep losing time, and I don't think Dreams understands that. He just wants to get past Haas Racing. They're going to keep on losing time by RZX Elite as these laps go on.
Dreams, I think, knows at this point he's kind of out of contentions to get a podium here. He's just trying to salvage everything he can. He's just pushing and just trying to get the best result possible when the time penalties finalize.
He will be in the DRS, so this is going to change things up now.
I mean, still, we haven't talked about much Haas Racing leading this race. He's led majority of tonight's race He could get his first win of the season tonight, but he's got to worry about a driver who's on better tires than him, who is gaining as we have 2 laps to go here at Silverstone.
He just barely keeping it under 1 second. He's balancing between a second and 9/10. I'm not sure if he's going to get DRS. It's so very close. He's got to get a good cops exit, and he does. Looks like he will support the DRS just barely, and Dreams picks up another time penalty. That is now 12 seconds worth of penalties for Dreams. I'm not sure how far back that will drop him, but it will be very, very far. Dreams is just
I
being
think that
pushed too
might
hard.
that might possibly drop him all the way back to at least 9th or 10th. And this is it. Our final lap here. Lee's got to give it all he has.
Just like the rest of the drivers, the lead doesn't really have any ERS. But the top 8 don't have ERS, top 9. Fully dependent on DRS and pace. The lead is edging closer. He's going to use all of his ERS down the Wellicking straight. Dreams is it's too far back for a move. Just trying to stay within the slipstream to carry speed.
Just look at the time penalties and where the seconds are. Pee Wee back and forth with 6. I think Games might pass him, and he will take a podium. So right now it's Haas Racing, Elite, and then Games,
Oh,
our
no,
top 3. It might not be. Games might pass him for second here, because Elite now has 6 seconds.
Pushing too hard. I'm not sure if
So at
Dreams
this
is
point,
even
Haas
gonna think
Racing,
about a move now. There he is. Just kind of go around the outside. It's not gonna make much of a difference for him.
it might look very dramatic from your point of view, but obviously we have time penalties to
Haas
discuss
Racing
here
is
after
going to
this.
win the Britain. Oh, okay. Haas Racing is going
He's
to
gonna
win today.
he's gonna win the 6th round of the Tier 1 F122 series here. Haas Racing first game, second Elite got up to at least second, but with the time penalty on the final lap cost him that second place. Dreams falls all the way back to 7th, so I was wrong. So it's not terrible, but not what he really wanted for this race.
Amazing performance from Haas Racing today. Such a good job defending against Dreams. This is a very good race for him today. Garrison's actually going to get past Mikey. Mikey goes very wide. Like Garrison will lock in 11th.
So make sure to stay tuned for top 3 post-race interviews coming up here shortly.
Like every driver on the grid picked up a penalty today. It's just how picky this track is.
So Elite will take the fastest lap with the bonus point. So he'll get 16 points. And with 7th, Dreams, I believe that's going to be 6 points for him. So Dreams will stay in the standings lead going into Shanghai next week.
Can't imagine how frustrated RZX Elite is. The win was in the bag for him, but then he picked up 6 seconds of penalties in about 6 laps, pushing too hard.
Alright, so we're going to get our top 3 in here right now. Alright, so we have 2 of the 3 in here now. Still waiting on Haas Racing. I'll try to message him. Alright. So, we'll go ahead and go on through. Sparks, if you could try to get Haas Racing in here as I go through everyone. So, we'll go ahead and start with our third place finisher tonight, RZX Elite, who started second in Elite. Make sure you do have your audio included for the stream.
Yeah.
So, Elites, you came out here strong in the early part of qualifying. You were looking to be the driver to beat, but then Haas Racing out of nowhere stole pole and pretty much dominated and defended for his life for that race win. And then later on, you picked up the time penalty. You knew you had to get around Dreams, but you weren't able to get that done. And then on the final lap, you picked up the 6 seconds that cost you second place of this race. How frustrated are you knowing that that costed you that second place finish?
I mean, first of all, after the early struggles in the race, I'm happy that I'm on the podium, but I'm definitely frustrated. I went about 20 laps without any time penalties compared to everyone else, and then at that point, I was in position for a net P1 after because Haas racing at 3 seconds, and I was within that time. Then right at the end, I got reckless pushing, which I didn't really need to, and picked up 6 seconds. And that last lap penalty was definitely frustrating, cost me a position.
And if you would have picked up second place tonight, how would your emotions be a bit different from where you are at this point?
I feel a bit better. I'm just trying to pick up every point I can over Dreams right now. So, P3 compared to P7, I definitely gained some good points on him. But would have liked to gain a bit more and even taken home a third trophy of the season, but we'll go at it in China next week.
All right, man. Well, you drove your heart out in this race. We knew you were going to be fast, but you did what you could here at the end. You picked up third place. At least it's good points. Dreams, our championship leader, finishing seventh tonight. And Elite, congratulations on yet another podium for the series.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll move on over to the other RZX teammate joining him on the podium, that being Games. And Games, you really were just kind of hanging back there and sort of outside the top five, cracking your way into the top five there. Just trying to see where you're at and trying to see where you would possibly be time penalty wise with everyone else in front of you. But no, just give us how your race was. Just give us a quick rundown how tonight was for you.
First of all, really happy with the position. I actually wasn't expecting a P2. I was in my mind before I was going into the race. I'm like, I want to at least get a podium for tonight because the past couple of races have been really bad on my end. And I know me and Dreams are trying to go for the constructors this year, so I've been trying to step up my game. So this is definitely a good result for the team, especially and for myself. Definitely a confidence booster. Um, yeah, like with tonight's race, I might have to tweak the setup a tiny bit for Silverstone. Uh, didn't feel as fast as the other drivers. It could have been my strategy as well, but um, yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit off. I was just trying to. I was draining a tiny bit amount of ERS just to stay in that DRS detection zone with the guys up front, so I wouldn't like be stranded alone by myself. So, uh, yeah, but wasn't expecting a P2 though. Very happy with that. Just kind of kept it in the back and got what we got today.
All right, and of course you talk about how struggling it's been for you this first part of the season, but we got a few tracks coming up here, including the second half. And just looking at that schedule, where do you see yourself potentially showing your name at the top step? You know, where are you gonna show your pure dominance at a certain track?
I know Monza in 2021. I think I started on pole and won that race, so that track I'm pretty comfortable with. I know like the ins and outs. Monza's looking pretty good. Possibly Bahrain. You never know. Honestly, I'm looking at this list right now. It could be any of the tracks, to be honest. I just gotta find the right setup and just not get like. I know with some of the races I've been like not completely taken out, but like kind of touched by like other drivers that kind of ruins my race. Like Canada, for example, last week it was really rough. I know for a lot of the guys it's pretty tough in the rain, so I mean I don't blame them. Like shit happens. It's racing, so um yeah, man, we'll have to see. To be honest, I'm gonna try my very best to at least get one win here, because it's kind of shocking to see me back in 2021 where it's fighting for the championship. Now I'm like scrapping for like P5. It's yeah, it's gonna have to change that around real quick.
All right, well, we know how good you are, especially at Abu Dhabi, which is the final race of the season. But nonetheless, congratulations on second tonight. I know you weren't expecting that, but you never know what happens at Silverstone. So congrats on that.
I mean, yeah, if I didn't get a penalty at all, that would I would have sealed the deal with P1 right there. But it is what it is. But yeah, you have a good one, JJ.
Yeah, man. Thanks. All right, so that was RZX Games finishing second tonight here at Silverstone. And with that, we'll move on over to our race leader, picking up his first ever win in JRL history. Not only that, he picks up a second podium for his team and the first win for the team ever in our Tier 1 division. But Haas Racing, if you could include your audio for the stream at this time. And just give us your emotions after defending off Dreams early on. He picked up a few time penalties after pushing the limits, and then you also got to worry about Elite, who had the time penalty as well. He was equal with you, but just give us how your rundown tonight was here at Silverstone.
Well, I'm very happy I won, but the entire race my plan was hold OTC behind and then just try to avoid penalties if possible, and I pretty much did that all race.
And you obviously just came out of nowhere here at Silverstone. Started on pole. You know, you fought your way through, fighting it out with Dreams with 1 and 2. You know, it's kind of hard racing with Dreams. He's our back-to-back series champion, and you did the best you could at Austria a few weeks ago, but made a mistake later on in that race. It cost you a podium. But just looking past Silverstone and the other tracks we have on the schedule, where do you see that you might potentially fight with our championship leaders, like I said, the games?
Um, Possibly Monza. I'm pretty good there, but just depends on how I qualify, I think.
All
I'm
right,
not the
Haas
biggest fan
Racing.
of dealing with the pack halfway through the first corner.
Mhm. All right, man. Well, thank you for racing with us tonight, and congrats on your first ever win here.
Thanks.
And with that, I think that's going to do it here for our sixth round of the Tier 1 division. We'll see you all next week at Shanghai, which should be quite interesting. We've never raced there in this game, and a lot of the drivers we have haven't raced there at all in a league race, but last time we visited that was season 1. Um, can imagine our old OG fans remember how that went. I know how it went because I won that race. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us tonight here on Twitch. My name's been RJJ Reds, your host and broadcast RJX Sparks here as a co-broadcaster. And with that, we are gonna sign out. We will see you all next week in 7 days' time at China. See you.